On a clear day, they say you can see almost 200 miles. Look it over. Mountains and plains, deep canyons and mesas, sagebrush, pine, wild flowers, pure running brooks. This is the site of the Girl Scout National Center West. There's not much land like this left these days, and our children, growing up in crowded cities and towns, are fast losing touch with the natural world. So, Girl Scouts of the USA has acted to preserve some 13,000 acres in the foothills of Wyoming's Bighorn Mountains, a place where girls and adults can come together for camping, conservation, training, international conferences, a place to experience firsthand the meaning of the wide open spaces. Making the whole dream come true will take many years. November 1968, the project was launched in Wyoming. Girl Scout representatives, government officials, citizens of Wyoming, the press, all gathered together at the site. Screen star and Girl Scout leader Debbie Reynolds flew in from Los Angeles for the occasion. The Great Powwow Cavern attracted the visitors. The fascinating pictographs may have been drawn on the rocks by Indians thousands of years ago. Soon, Girl Scouts will be exploring the rich archaeological lore lying hidden in this ancient Indian meeting place. On to the nearby town of Worland for a friendly welcome and a picture-taking session of members of the National Board of Directors and others who had helped make the project possible. Mrs. Price poses with Governor Stanley K. Hathaway and Senator Clifford P. Hansen, Wyoming. And the key to the city is accepted by the President of the Girl Scouts of the USA. Wyoming was eager to cooperate in this new venture, and to honor the Girl Scouts, they gave a gala banquet where the governor of the Equality State, the first to give women the right to vote, and Senator Gail McGee and others spoke of their eagerness to lend assistance in the development of this major national center. The first steps had been taken. A beginning had been made toward acquiring the land and developing the facilities for the National Center West. Much state and federal cooperation would be needed. March 1969, Washington, D.C. A reception in the office of Secretary of the Interior, Walter J. Hickel. It was quite an occasion as Secretary Hickel and Mrs. Price were joined by Mrs. Nixon, making her first public appearance as First Lady of the land and as honorary president of the Girl Scouts. The distinguished guests and girls have come for an important ceremony. The Bureau of Land Management will deed to Girl Scouts of the USA the first parcel of federal land.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before I sign these documents and give them to you, Mrs. Price, I'd like to say that I think we have the great distinction today of having our First Lady, which is an honorary national president. I believe her two girls were Girl Scouts. You know, I haven't written too many times when I'm standing up. I don't know a better way to give away public land in situations such as this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Secretary Hickel. There have been a lot of big days in the Girl Scout organization since its founding 56 years ago, but I think this is probably one of the most outstanding, the one that at this time, in this day and age, that we appreciate more. Because if there ever is going to be a need for a place for young people from all over the country, particularly in the cities, to get away from the concrete and steel, which is predicted as their life in the future, it's now. And we are simply delighted to have this place, which will be a place where girls from all over the country, from all races and economics and creeds and that sort of thing can come to have experiences in learning and in being together and in working toward the future of the world. And also, in our plans, we will have a complex for training some of the 700,000 adults who need guidance and help in leading these girls. So again, I want to thank you. And Mrs. Nixon, I want to thank you, our honorary president, for being at this occasion with us and making it so wonderful. And this, again, is a most historic occasion, and thank you all for coming. I have something to give to you, Mrs. Nixon and Secretary Hickel. This is a picture of what is called the Indian Powwow Cavern, which is on our site in Wyoming. On these walls are some pictographs, and nobody knows how old they are. And I think that the age has been guessed at as about 8,000 years old, but this will be one of the projects of the Girl Scouts, one of the program opportunities to help understand and document some of the history of this land, which is so old and has been with us for such a long time. And Mrs. Nixon, I'd like to give this to you, and I hope you'll find a place for it. And Secretary Hickel, this is for you to hang in your office, and the next time I come back, I expect to see it there.
Summer 1969, the adventure begins. Over 400 girls from every state in the Union come together for the first all-states rendezvous to be held at the Western Center. Teenage girls set up their tents where Indian teepees once stood, in the vast primitive wilderness. They go backpacking along trails which covered wagons traveled long ago, discovering the lonesome cabin of a pioneer, vestige of another time. At the Powwow Cavern, they find for themselves the ancient Indian drawings, follow the traces of campfires centuries old. Under the supervision of professional archaeologists from the University of Wyoming, they look for relics of a vanished civilization. These are the girls who came, girls from big cities and small towns, girls of various races, different backgrounds, girls discovering a new part of their American heritage, experiencing a new way of life, a new understanding of the open grandeur of the West. What did the experience mean to them? The girls themselves said it best.
And being at the Girl Scout National Center Rest means being a part of something big and beautiful and new and different.
When I first came out here, I was really shocked. I've never seen this much clear land before in my life. I'm used to seeing buildings and pavement everywhere, and you can just look around, and at night you see so many stars, and I've never seen that before.
It gives you a chance to find out something else besides the little place that you live in.
I found it a lot of fun, all of us working together to get the place clean. You know, it's almost like building your own home.
It's not a whole great big shebang of fun. It's a satisfying experience because it's so healthy up here, you know. Like, it's dirty, but it's healthy. This is kind of the ultimate in Girl Scouting, is being able to be on your own as much as you want to and as much as you're able to. Yeah, I think every Girl Scout should come up here. I don't know, the whole idea of having a camp out in a place so big and so high and so wild makes it even more free and makes it more exciting.
The National Center West, an important step forward for the conservation of our lands, an exciting new venture for the girls of our nation. A beginning has been made, and now for tomorrow.